What's going on, everybody? I'm Aaliyah Michelle.
And I'm Purple. And this is Cocktails and Convo.
With Purple.
And Lee. All right. So, do you want to do like the what are you watching segment like now and just get it out the way?
We can.
All right, let's do that. So, we are starting a new segment of each episode where we talk about what we're watching. As you guys know, if you don't know, I'll be stuck in like hotels for hours on end, and it's really nothing to do but watch stuff. I might read every now and then, maybe, but for the most part, I'm watching something. All right. So, what streaming platforms do you have?
All of them. I do have quite a few, only because I be trying to like watch different stuff. So, of course, Netflix. Occasionally Hulu. Sometimes I just let that deactivate. This other app called Philo. Tubi. I'm watching Tubi movies. And this other app called Tonight's Conversation. I started watching it.
Oh, I ain't never heard of that.
It's a podcast app.
Okay.
So you probably be seeing it on TikTok when they be doing like little clips and stuff. But I recently downloaded the app so I could watch like their seasons. It's really funny. I like their podcast.
Okay. So I have Netflix, Hulu, Stars.
Oh yeah, Stars.
Amazon Prime.
I probably should just get cable after I think about it for a while. I probably should, because I do have a lot of, like, I have Stars, I have Prime Video. Every now and then I might have Showtime if I want to watch a show. Then I'm ratchet a little bit, so I had the Zeus app for a little bit. It was like,
Zeus.
I probably should think of
after a while when you add up all them subscriptions.
Probably should.
But even with cable, it's some shows that only come on like
certain
stuff.
apps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like a lose-lose.
Yeah. If they have like a little deal or something, maybe I could probably work something out.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm okay with the apps.
So is there anything you're like currently watching, like binging or anything like that?
I don't know. I be on and off with a lot of shows. I just recently got back into Married at First Sight.
Thank God.
I've been watching this other show called Put a Ring on It. I was watching this other show called, what was it? What was I watching the other day? I don't know. Oh, it was just a wrestling show. I don't even know how I started watching it.
A wrestling show?
It's called like The Dark Side of the Ring. When they be showing like, because wrestling is fake, of course, but like back then we thought it was real, and they just be showing like behind the scenes of what was really going on and stuff. It was actually kind of interesting. I just be turning on to see what I could find sometimes.
Yeah, right now I'm watching Ozark.
Oh, Ozark.
I think I got like 4 more episodes. So I was watching it when it first came out, and then I stopped.
Yeah.
And then they kept like making new seasons, and I got so far behind I couldn't remember where I was. So I started it from the beginning and watched it all the way through. So I got like 4 episodes left. I feel like it seemed like all the shows that I was like watching, like caught up on, like on a week-to-week basis is over now. Because I was watching The Good Doctor.
I have not caught up on it.
Terrible. Grey's Anatomy, Station 19. Power. It's this new show called The Company You Keep.
The Company You Keep?
I think it come on like ABC or something. It was good. But I think that's over too. Will Trent. You heard about this show?
No.
He's like a detective, but he has he's dyslexic, so he can't read. So he does like a lot of the stuff he do. So he walks around with a recorder.
Okay.
And that's how he takes like case notes with the recorder. And then he has his partner, I guess, types it up or something.
Okay.
Because he like legit can't read. But yeah, those are kind of the shows that I'm getting into. So all right, are you all caught up on Married at First Sight?
Yeah, I'm caught up.
Okay, so you even watched like the 2 episodes after Decision Day? Okay, so what do you think about this season of Married at First Sight?
I have to say that I think this season was probably the most boring season. I feel like, I don't know what it was, but it was so hard for me to get into it. Usually when I'm like, oh, Married at First Sight was on, I'm like right there catching up with all the episodes. This one was like dragging for me. I don't know
like
what
nobody
it was.
liked each other.
Yeah, nobody did. And it's just like, or they take the smallest thing and maximize it. And it's just like, bro, maybe to me it's not that serious, but it's just like, I don't want to watch this for another hour.
It was very like annoying, I would say, to a certain extent. Like, even the couple that stayed together,
Yeah.
Chris and Nicole, they're annoying.
I was over
She's
it, but
annoying.
it's like I just got to see it through at this point. That's just like,
and I feel like with this season, it was a lot of like over communicating. Even though like I guess you can't communicate too much when you're marrying a stranger,
right?
But it was just like
I just feel like certain things y'all didn't need to say.
Yeah, like why is this even a conversation?
Yeah, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, it's just
I wouldn't talk to you even if we knew each other. I probably wouldn't have said this shit. But like, why are you? If you're getting to know this person, I just feel like this didn't need to be like part of the conversation. Yep. It was just weird.
Yeah, it was a very. I mean, I'm still gonna watch like all of the episodes that they doing after Decision Day, just because.
I'm still.
But everything,
watch.
You know what? It seems so staged. Like I feel like if they wasn't still recording, they wouldn't really be hanging out with each other like.
No, they definitely have to. I feel like it's definitely a thing where they kind of. It's probably in like their contract or something. Like, listen, y'all still gotta kind of.
Like y'all gotta go to this park and play football on this day.
Take y'all dog to the same park and act like y'all didn't. Like we know y'all not friends for real. Like
so, let's get into these topics. You want me to go first or you want to go?
You can go first.
All right. So, my first one is. What is it?
I don't know.
If you are in a situation where resuscitation or intubation is needed, is there something you would want or would you opt for a DNR/DNI?
I just would have to. It would depend on what my chances are of living a good quality life. Because my thing is, especially when it comes to like being a burden to other people. For one, I wouldn't want to live my life a certain way. So if I'm going to be like a vegetable as to where I don't know what the hell is going on, I'm not aware of anything. Y'all don't even know if I'm awake or anything. I would rather y'all just let me go.
Okay.
Now if it's an instant where I could probably still live life, but I might just have a bit of a disability, but I can still somewhat take care of myself. Yeah, resuscitating, bring me back.
Okay. All right. So we do have some comments. I'm going to give you guys my answer, but I'm going to read our comments first. We had quite a few. And so my caption said, not to be morbid, but let's talk about your wishes. Does your family/next of kin know what you would want in this situation? Do you have a living will? So, do you have a living will?
I don't. I just have like life insurance with the beneficiary, but I don't have a will.
Okay. So this is something that my financial advisor and I have been like talk about like recently, because I got life insurance, the boys have life insurance, my mom got life insurance, all that good stuff. But we talk about, we have kids, and technically after 18, if something happens to you, if they're your beneficiary, then they get that money. But I was like, hold up. God forbid something happens to me and my son is only 18, 19. He don't need all that money, right? So that's where like your living will would come into play. So it would, or like a trust.
I would definitely do a trust.
So I would definitely do a trust. I would also do a living will, just to make sure, like, because I wouldn't want all of that money to go into a trust, because of course they're going to need some of it for funerals and to actually take care of the kids and all of that stuff. So we're talking about, me doing a living will and all of that. But when it comes to being resuscitated, so our followers, somebody said, it all comes down to the quality of life, horrible accident, and I lose my leg or an arm, just let me go. And I'm like, hold on.
No, I don't think that. Now, if I lose an arm or leg, possibly can't walk, maybe bound to a wheelchair, I still feel like I can possibly live a good quality life.
Right, and that's what I was saying. I'm like, losing
an arm, let me go. Damn, that's a bit extreme.
Because my thing is, you could like lose a leg or lose an arm, but still be like breathing on your own. So like, how they gonna let you go?
Not to mention that you can probably get an artificial limb if it comes down to it. So
there's amputees everywhere.
Exactly.
Like, and I know a guy, because like I ride motorcycles. I know a guy who got into a really bad accident, lost a leg, and he still went through his recovery. It was hard as crap. He like documented it, but he back on the bike.
I don't feel like losing a limb is like pull the plug. No, hell no.
Yeah, right.
I don't even think you would be in a situation where you
can't, where you would
Yeah,
have to. That's what I was saying. I was like, I don't think losing a limb is like a life or death thing.
Yeah, because you can live without limbs. So I don't.
Granted, you do have some people, and I've seen it on shows because I watch a lot of like hospital shows where they be like, if you don't let us amputate, something in your
Someone's to go
blood,
on,
this, that, and the third, and they be like, no, I'm keeping my leg.
Man, let it go.
Man.
Take this shit off. Like, let me get the rest
You
of my
gonna keep
life.
your leg and lose your life? Like,
Exactly. Like, you don't know what can be contaminated in your whole body like that. Like,
I think it's the same situation. It just depends because they say like after a certain amount of time, your brain don't get oxygen. You're probably it's gonna be some kind of brain damage, right? If I was in that situation, let me go, because if I can't think for myself, then I probably can't do much else for myself.
Yeah.
So definitely resuscitate me though. Like try anyway.
Yeah.
The intubation thing I would be okay with, but there would be like a deadline. Like after this amount of weeks, like if there's no
type of
nothing like looking positive, then pull the plug. Let me go. And I've seen situations where like people really be like hurt.
Yeah.
And it'd be hard to do the whole like pull the plug thing. But if you think about it, you keeping this person alive on a machine for what?
Yeah, I mean, some people be trying to hold on to hope because you always hear about stories where
the
this
miracles.
person woke up from a coma after 5 years, and it's like So I get it, but at the same time, it's like, do you really want to put yourself through it every day? Because you're still responsible for this person. And it's like breaking your own heart at this point, watching them still be that way.
Yeah, especially, and like I said, a lot of these shows, and I know like they just shows, but these doctors be doing whatever. Because this question came from an episode of Grey's Anatomy. Was it Grey's Anatomy? Grey's Anatomy, where the doctor, like, it was this older lady. She had a DNR, and a DNI, and she was like sitting there talking to him. They was having a conversation, and she just like went. And he didn't like accept the fact that
she had a DNI.
Yeah, and
I remember that episode.
He called Cold Blue, and he's like, "Bring me the crash car." And they're like, "She has a DNI. Like, bring me the crash car." He went and got it himself. Brought her back, and when she like came to, she was like low key upset, like
why the fuck? Put me back. Put me back.
I was just so confused. But like everybody else was like mad too, because apparently like once you do that, if they get like a heartbeat or a sinus rhythm or something, not only that, but now you can't like turn back. Now you have to keep them alive.
Yeah, I would.
It's no turning back once you do that.
Especially if you have like a terminal illness or you're of a certain age, some people are just like, listen, I can accept the fact that I live my life and this is it. Like I can go. So if I was like in a way like, listen, I can go any day now, and I go that day, and then you bring me the fuck back, I'm just like, wow, I'm cursed about. Like, nigga, I was ready. Like, why did you do that? Now I gotta get ready all over again? Like, oh.
I don't even know how long I'm gonna be here this time.
Yeah, I'd be pissed. I'd definitely be pissed too. So I understand it.
All right, so what's your...
All right, so I was talking to one of my girlfriends the other day, because we was talking about how people be like grown and they be like, oh, I don't have no friends, or maybe you might have had fallouts with friends, so you don't have as many. But I was asking, like, well, at this age, are you open to having new friends? Like, not just like acquaintances, associates, everybody got them, but like actual friends, like building a whole new friendship as an adult.
So I'm not against it. I'm definitely open to it, but is it possible? I think would be more of like a question now, because so many people have trust issues, right? And I feel like to be a friend, you have to like genuinely trust someone damn near with your life. Like if you want to talk about real friends.
Yeah.
And it takes time to get there with somebody. And I think a lot of people don't put in the time and put in the effort to get there with someone new.
That's true.
They don't really feel or see the benefit, especially if they already have friends that they have that with. It's like, but I wouldn't be against it. Like, it just would have to be genuine. And I just haven't came across the opportunity where that happened and was able to like flourish and be a thing.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think the same thing. Like a lot of the friendships, like my core friends that I'm with all the time and talk to on a daily basis, these are people that I've known for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like my closest friends, I knew them since middle school, and we watch each other kids and attend each other birthdays, events and stuff like that. So it's like to do that now, like as an adult, to build that type of friendship, it definitely would take a certain level of trust. Cause like not necessarily I'll be looking at people sideways, just like, okay, you know, when you kids and you building a friendship, y'all just kids and y'all getting to know each other and y'all don't really know. As adults, it's like you kind of be looking at people like, what you want from me? Like why do you want to be in my circle? Like why, or what about you that you don't? I like personally, when somebody tells me they don't have friends, it makes me kind of look at them sideways. Like you don't have at least one friend, one best friend, somebody that you knew for a while, even if it's just only been a couple of years. It's like you don't have any friends. So now I'm kind of like looking at you like, well, what type of person are you that you don't have anybody that wants to be around?
Right.
So,
I think also as a kid, when you building friendships, you don't really pay attention to some of the stuff that people do.
Yeah.
And as adults, not only do you pay more attention, but it's more like accountability. Like you can't do dumb stuff or be irresponsible like you used to be as a kid and it be okay.
That's true.
Like I don't want those kind of friends. So now you pay more attention to the way people move and stuff like that, and people be moving a little shady. Like, and it's hard, I feel like, as an adult to find somebody on like the same wavelength as you and like that you click with. So yeah. But I'm not opposed to it. Definitely not opposed to it.
You know,
like
as you go through life, it's like you meet people every day. And I feel like women, it's so much easier for us to meet people because we bond over the simplest shit. Like, oh, girl, where you get that food from? Oh, where you get this clothes? Oh, what lip gloss is that? Like, you just start, the conversation start happening, shit start clicking. So it's easy, but it's like to really like bring that person in and bring them around the people that
tell
you
them
know.
about your personal
have them around your children.
And all of that. It's, especially with the way the world is today, it's hard to trust people with those things that you hold near and dear to your heart. All right, so the other one was, and I think we talked about this, but is it cheating buying a woman I work with some breakfast? Was the post. Remember we talked about this?
Yeah.
All right, so, and we got a lot of comments on this. I'm gonna read some of them, and then we can go into some details. But somebody said yes, I said elaborate, and they said depending on the intentions. Somebody said no, but cash app me some breakfast money too when you buy hers. Somebody said, damn, this is tricky. Somebody said no. Somebody said depends on the intent behind it. I buy my coworkers breakfast / lunch before, whether male or female, doesn't matter unless I have some other motive behind it. Somebody said nope, especially if that's like your work wife or work mom.
Yeah, that's what I don't like.
Shit, even if it's just your homie, I would buy any of my female friends at work breakfast with no hesitation, and my lady shouldn't have an issue. Somebody said it is cheating. I will fuck you up. All right, so my thing is with that specific question, a lot of people automatically answered, right? Whether it was a yes or no. I don't think it's cheating. I don't think
it's cheating, but I don't know if I would like it. I've never had it happen, or if it did happen, they probably never fucking told me about it. But it's just like, definitely I would need some context behind it if I don't know this person, because it's just like, okay, what kind of friend is this that you buying breakfast for? Because I personally, I don't buy food for nobody. For
I was about to say, you never bought breakfast for a coworker?
It depends who
or like
it is.
a cup of coffee,
I just feel like
or
coffee, stuff like that. Yeah, I have.
Okay.
But it's like, I don't know. It's just weird. Or like, did they ask you? Did y'all getting breakfast together and they had a wallet? I feel like I would want details, because me knowing how my person is, he's more so introverted than me. So when he says he has a friend out of nowhere that he bought breakfast for, I'm kind of confused. Like, wait, what friend? Because who the fuck is this? Then it's like, for you to spend your money on them, it's like, who this person is.
Well, breakfast like $10.
I don't give a damn if it was $5. So it's just like, I just feel like the context, but I would just want to know the context behind it. But I don't feel like I bought her a meal, I'm cheating, bitch. Like, no, I don't feel like it's not that deep for me to think it's cheating. I'm just going to want to know the context behind it.
Yeah, I think it depends on your work environment and things like that because, like, at work, like, we'll have a pilot that buy the whole crew, like, breakfast.
Yeah.
Only because, like I said, work environment comes into play. So with me as a flight attendant, I have to be on the plane at a certain time. So if we get to the airport and I don't have time to go get breakfast, I got to go get on the plane. The pilot doesn't have to be on the plane until we about to leave.
Mm.
So he can go venture around the airport and do all of that. We got to start boarding.
Right.
So it's different. It definitely depends on your work environment. It depends on definitely the intentions behind it.
Yeah.
But I felt with that post, a lot of people just automatically gave an answer instead of saying it depends on the intention behind it.
I feel like it's definitely a situational kind of question.
And I think
like,
it's because
it shouldn't be like a repeated type of thing. Like,
it can't be like a regular thing.
I don't feel like it should be. Why are you buying breakfast for somebody every day? Is this like a return the favor type thing? I just feel like I don't feel like I'm not buying nobody's breakfast every day. Like I'm not doing. Personally, it's like, okay, I don't mind if it's like it's payday. Fuck it, I'm going here. You want something?
Right.
Or but it's like if it's like we work together 5 days out of a 7-day work week, and every day I'm just expected to buy breakfast. It's like, okay, excuse me. Is you gonna buy this fucking breakfast? It's your turn. Like, this should be like a mutual thing. If we're friends, like, I'm not buying my friends breakfast every day.
I agree. It should be a back and forth thing. But yeah, definitely not cheating. I feel like a lot of people in relationships or just like people in general feel like when the opposite sex does something for another person is automatically like other intentions behind it without even knowing like the context. That's like their first thought.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a friend and a guy had hit me up about riding, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't know why he hit me up. Like, I don't really, you know why he hitting you up. I don't automatically assume that because he's a guy and I'm a girl that is that. Because that's how you look stupid. Because like even if it is that and you're not with it and you try to reject them, they could be like, oh, like that's not what type of time I was on. So without knowing what it really is, I wouldn't automatically assume that it's something because it could not be nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's all about just knowing what type of partner you have. Mm-hmm. Because if you have that type of person that you know is going to jump to conclusions, that's not going to believe nothing you say, regardless of you could had a person on the phone, then maybe. But some people it's like that. I mean, you can't help somebody else's insecurities. So it's like if that's the type of person that you have, then maybe you probably shouldn't buy nobody breakfast. So you could just avoid the whole situation altogether,
or just make sure they don't find out.
Yeah.
Not that I'm encouraging hiding anything.
No, it's not hiding because if it's not. How often does somebody say, "Hey, did you eat breakfast? Did you buy somebody else breakfast too?" It's like it's not even a real question. So 9 times out of 10, if I find out that my boyfriend bought somebody breakfast, it's because he told me. I would just say keep that shit to yourself. If you don't know how your partner is going to react, or you have that type of partner that's just reactive off the gate, so it's like. But hold on, what's my other question? Oh, this came from something I was watching on TV. So, some people, kids, like you can't control how somebody else raise their kids and how their kids' behavior is. But all right, so the question is, how do you tell somebody that you're close with that you don't want to watch their children anymore and they should also not enable their children's bad behavior? Because I was watching this show, and when I say, I feel like the girl was being really nice because she was like a work from home type person. She made her own schedule, but one of her close friends had twins, and she was just going back to work and didn't want to put them in daycare yet. But they were like 2, so she was just going back to work. So she offered like, "Oh yeah, I'll watch them." But I'm guessing maybe she probably thought they was gonna be okay.
Didn't know what she was signing up for.
Oh my God! When I say these little kids, I mean not listening, tantrums every 5 minutes, didn't want to eat food, didn't want to listen, didn't want to take naps. Oh, wow. When I say.
Now I see why she didn't want to put them in daycare. They would have kicked them out.
So, and it's like, in her eyes, like, oh, maybe it was the first day. You know, this is their first day alone with me. Their mom not here. They used to have their mom around for 2 years, and now they with a new person. Let's try again. So she said she tried it for about 2 weeks, and these little kids did not do no different. It was like every day she's like child-proofing. They saying F the child-proof and going behind stuff. I said, so she had to talk with her, and she was just like, you know, well, she actually went, she said it was her fault because she didn't really visit as much. They had just moved to the same town together and stuff like that. So she didn't visit the boys as much or whatever the case may be. And then when she finally did start going over there, it's like they do the same thing at home.
Oh.
And the mom is like, I feel like
Just
a lot of people are on this,
happen.
what they call gentle parenting thing, where they don't want to yell. They don't want to pop the kids. The discipline is, I'm going to count to 10, bitch. Like, no.
10 is a long time.
Yeah, it's like, at what point? So it's like, her question was like, you know, this is my friend and I don't want to
Offend her.
and I don't want to like snatch the rug from under her because she don't have to pay for childcare and stuff right now. And she was kind of dependent on me, but your kids is bad. Like, how do I tell you that your children are bad and that you kind of the reason why they bad? Like,
yeah, I mean, some kids just lack discipline, and that's definitely all on the parents. But how? I mean, if it's a friend, I'm going to give it to you straight, no chaser. Like, girl, your kids is bad. Like, we gotta do something with this, and I'll help. Like, if you need help with disciplining them, like, give me permission to lay hands, and we could probably get this under control. Especially if you want me to babysit.
Yeah,
they not about to be in here running amok. Like, we're not doing that. So, or you can find other means of childcare. And I still love you, and I still love the kids, and I'll still come by, but I'm not going to stay long if they in here acting crazy.
I can't, because I'm very particular. Like, I have a pretty much OCD type of thing when it comes to my place. So if I'm inviting your children, I understand that at certain times it's going to get messy.
Yeah.
They're kids. They just really learning how to feed themselves and stuff like that. So it's like they're going to want to play. It's going to probably be toys everywhere. That's fine. But if I'm telling them to do something and they literally are telling me no.
Oh, yeah, no.
And they're running around and they're touching things they're not supposed to touch. Listen here, once these kids come into my house, these are my kids. I'm going to treat them like they're my kids.
Yes.
So if you have an issue with me treating them like my kids,
and maybe I should not watch them.
Exactly, because I wouldn't call what I do now gentle parenting. I just feel like I can have more conversation with my son and he comprehends.
Yeah.
But at that age, kids just want their way.
Yep.
But at that age, I was popping my child. So he knew, listen, you're not supposed to do this. If you don't listen, the plucks, all of that. Listen, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna eat this, you're gonna go to take a nap, you're gonna at this time, like I said. And if you don't listen, you're gonna get in trouble.
Yep. Point blank period. Yeah. That gentle parenting stuff is, I don't know what that is.
I just think it's like a projection of how a lot of people grew up, which was probably getting their ass
they don't
or
want their
possibly
kids
getting abused. So it's like now in turn, when I have children, I don't want to do it that way, and I get it. But at some point,
there still need to be some kind of discipline.
Yeah, there needs to be some type of discipline behind it, because kids are they're kids. They're going to test their limits and see what they can get away with. You got to figure
out. Now, I'm not saying everybody should beat their kids, but you got to figure out something that works for your child and do that. You can't just not do nothing and just let them do whatever.
And then they get out here and they with other adults and they at school embarrassing you, and you wondering why, because you allowed that to happen. So
getting kicked out of schools and all of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's it, right? All right. So like always, where they finding us?
On Instagram, that's Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's. On Facebook, it's Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's. On YouTube, Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's with Purple and Lee. You can find it that way too.
We also on a podcast app and Spotify now. For those of you who are here for the audio and not really the visual, you can definitely listen to us on your ride to work, or when you in a house cooking, or whatever the case is. If you just don't feel like watching TV, you can listen to us on the podcast app and Spotify.
And also send us suggestions, drink suggestions, guest suggestions. If you own any type of brand and you would like us to promote it for you, you could send us that suggestion.
We are doing sit-in co-hosts now. So
yeah.
if you want to record with Lee in my place or vice versa, you can do that. We actually have a signature drink that we are going to debut in a future episode. And then we're going to start having feature drinks since we do 2 episodes a month. One episode, we're going to do our signature drink. And then the other episode, we are going to start doing feature drinks because we now have a bartender on the team, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys.